What up everyone, it's your boy X-Man87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends video, and what I have for you today is the Walgreens exclusive Marvel Legends Supervillain Series Baron Zemo action figure review. Before I get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now, with that said, I don't have time to produce an Uncanny X-Man-y storytime segment. However, I love the Baron Zemo character so much that I do want to talk about him and give you a brief character overview just in case you are not familiar with the character. And here we go. Baron Helmut Zemo was the 13th in the line of the Zemo barony. He's the son of former Nazi Heinrich Zemo, who died in battle against Captain America years after World War II. Helmut first started off as a generic revenge-seeking villain named Phoenix in Captain America issue 168 in the 1970s. When battling Captain America and the Falcon, Helmut fell into a vat of adhesive X, which seriously disfigured his face. Nearly a decade later, he returns by following in his father's footsteps and made his first appearance as Baron Zemo in Captain America issue 275, and would become one of the greatest supervillains of Captain America and the Avengers in the 1980s. Baron Zemo's first crowning glory came when he assembled the iconic group known as the Masters of Evil and led them on an assault on Avengers Mansion. It was, however, in the 1990s that his greatest scheme ever came to fruition when he disguised himself as Citizen V and had his team, the Masters of Evil, masquerade as heroes, and so the Thunderbolts were born, leading the Thunderbolts to public acclaim in order to conquer the world. In the end, he failed only because his cohorts desired to remain heroes and rebelled against him. While Zemo seems to be the ultimate villain, there is so much more depth to his character. Much like the X-Men's Magneto, Zemo has shifted from villain to hero and back again. During his heroic period, Zemo tried to make amends for his former deeds. Zemo again drifted back into his more dark persona. This happened when he found out that Bucky, the hero that was killed by his father, which was seen as his father's greatest accomplishment, was alive and well. So he sought revenge once more. For powers and abilities, Helmut is a genius leader and scientist. He is an extremely skilled hand-to-hand combatant, as well as being a very accomplished swordsman. Zemo is an Olympic-level marksman with firearms, stealth and guile, along with gadgetry. Highly proficient in field tactics and even turning the tide of every debate that he is involved in into his favor. When granted the Moonstones, he gains multiple abilities such as energy, gravity, light manipulation, phasing, flight, and more. So I was originally going to review Shocker, but then this guy came knocking on my door, and so yeah, Shocker had to be pushed aside once again. For that, I apologize if you're waiting for my Shocker review, but it'll happen. Alrighty, so I hope you enjoyed my character overview, and this Baron Zemo is looking fantastic. Looking like a true pimp, man. I love that they went with the classic look of Helmut Zemo. He does get some new parts, which is always appreciated. So, we'll talk about more of that in a bit, but first let's take a look at the accessories. Zemo here comes with 4 different hands, so he has one closed fist for the left hand. Wish he had a second one for the right hand. For the right hand, we have kind of a sword-holding gesture, and also looks like a gun-tooting hand, but not your standard-looking gun-tooting hand, as you can't put a gun in it. So if I take the old one that came in the Mandroid wave, I mean, you could sort of make it work, but as you can see, there's no separation in between the index and middle finger where there normally is, so you're gonna get that. Still works, not bad. You could take an X-Acto knife and, you know, split it right there if you want to. I'm not gonna do it on mine. He should have came with this gun with the leopard print. Don't know why they didn't include that here. And you gotta have a sword for Zemo, right? Since he's a known swordsman. So, same one as the last Zemo, just the hilt is in brown and you get some gold at the bottom and right there at the top. And as you can see, yep, same one. Oh man, this old one got chewed up from going in and out of the sheath all the time. So I'm happy to have a new one because the paint chipping was very bad. And it easily fits in his hand. And I forgot to mention before that this hand does have a vertical hinge. So if you want to do a sword thrust, you can. But the next hands that I'm about to show you don't. They're just a regular gripping hand with the traditional hinge. Now taking an up close and personal look at Baron Zemo, he looks freaking fantastic. And one thing I'm excited about is that this head sculpt is a brand new head sculpt. That is right, they did not use the same head sculpt from the Mandroid Wave. As you can see, the crown is much bigger on the Mandroid Wave one and a different expression. Kind of wish the purple matched just so I can, swap the heads. But look at this, man. They sculpted the line work here. They did it for the head sculpt, but not the torso, because it's just used the Bucky Cap torso, and the lines were just painted on. So that I am happy to see, and they freaking painted the sculpted lines, which freaking gets me excited. The crown is more of a metallic gold paint that I appreciate. The last one, there was no metallic gold. It was kind of like a dirty mustard looking color. It just didn't look right. Oh my god, this head sculpt is just freaking amazing. One thing I do wish, because I'm a big Baron Zemo fan in the comics, he's very expressive. He cracks me up. He's funny as hell. It would have been nice to have an alternate head with some expressions, kind of like what they did with the Deadpool, how he has this expressive head. Not saying that they had to do this same expression. I'm just saying they could have given him a different expressive head. So it would have been cool, right? That's what I love about alternate heads. It gives the figure a personality. And look at the furry shoulder pieces with the leopard print. Oh, I just love that. It's so pimpadelic. And one thing I do love about this, they gave it the War Machine treatment, where they put the shoulder piece in between the torso and the shoulder, so that way when you rotate it around, it goes along with the arm, so there's nothing hindering it. One thing I will note is that when you move the arm up for a T-pose, it does have this kind of separation there, so that may bother some, but me being an articulated freak, I want to get all the freaking motion. They probably could have gotten away with a butterfly joint, but maybe this shoulder socket didn't allow for it. But still, I'm a fan of this kind of engineering. We got a new upper torso, so as you can see, the collar piece is molded on here. It's not like the last Zemo where it's just painted on, as I showed you before. So I do appreciate that. Torso looks nice. And you got his championship belt. It looks so freaking cool. One thing I will note is the ab crunch will definitely warp that handlebar right there. So if you leave it there for an extended period of time, just know that you might have that effect going on where it's just sticking up. So, if that happens, apply some heat with a hairdryer and you should be good. Even though they went with a plastic gold and I would have preferred a metallic gold paint, it doesn't look bad. It does have this nice reflective, shiny kind of look to it. So no marbling swirling I can see. And we get the arms reused from Dormammu. And the reason why I say Dormammu and not Red Skull is because this one has the long gloves, whereas Red Skull doesn't. I mean, same upper arms, but as you can see, the Dormammu figure has the long gloves. So it's cool that this is a new part that they added right here, as Dormammu's top of the glove has a design to it. So we get something with just a plain look. So I like that they did something different with Dormammu's arm. Dormammu. And you got the Bucky Cap legs, but you get a new pelvis area. So this is pretty new. At least I think it's new. I've never seen that butt piece before. It does serve holding the Bucky Cap legs really well, because normally right off the bat the Bucky Cap legs can be a little loose, but it looks like this crotch piece here doesn't give it a wobbly effect at all. And I love the purple color we get here. I'm a sucker for characters that wear purple, which is probably why purple is one of my favorite colors. And then we get the nice furry pieces here, nicely sculpted with the leopard print. You do get these are not the Bucky Cap shoes. These are different kind of shoes. Can't think of who exactly it comes with, or if they're new. But I'm really bummed out that we don't get the pinstripes on the boots where we get it with the gloves. Come on, man. They painted the pinstripes on the mask, the collar, the gloves, but not the boots. Oh my god, that drives me nuts. Why, Hasbro, why? And since Baron Zemo has a disfigured face, what you could do is take one of the unmasked heads from Deadpool and pop it on here. And that could work for a photo. I'd try to do something like that, Give it some more variety, give it some more play since he's a little light on accessories. Or you could put the new Baron Zemo head on the Citizen V body and recreate that famous scene where he puts on the Baron Zemo mask. Man, that 90s Thunderbolts was the best. Alright, now to cover articulation with Baron Zemo, his head is on a ball joint with no hinge, which is cool. That way it doesn't break up the sculpt of this line work, and his head moves that far up. It moves that far down, left, right. It does tilt nicely side to side, and it rocks around. His arms move about that far up, a little bit higher than a normal T pose, and then it moves down. Arms move all around. You got the bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows, wrist swivel, and a wrist hinge. You got the ab crunch that moves that far forward and that far back. Waist swivel. Legs move that far apart. So with this new crotch piece, you do get more movement out of the Bucky Cap legs, as you can see. So very good. And you get the legs that move, yeah, they move really far up. Wow, yeah, this new crotch piece, that's all right, making the Bucky Cap legs do something. Nice. And they move that far back. You got the legs that rock around, thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and oh, close, but no heel to the new butt. And you got a boot swivel. Ankles move up that far, down that low, and they rock all around. Now for some comparisons, here is Baron Zemo next to the Mandroid Wave version and his alter heroic ego Citizen V. Bunch of swords here in this one shot. Would like for Hasbro to make a swordsman figure to go up against Zemo. I'll put this new Zemo on my Masters of Evil shelf, and the old one can go in my Thunderbolt shelf. Here he is next to Dancing Zemo, and I did want to bring the mask out for his more complete MCU outfit. Gotta do this since both of them led Hydra. Here he is next to Red Skull. Unpopular opinion here, but I'm gonna say it. Zemo's a better villain than the Red Skull. Yep, I said it. As much as I like Red Skull, Zemo just has more complexity and lots of similarities to Magneto, which is probably why I like him more, being that Magneto is my favorite Marvel villain. Here he is next to a Hydra soldier and a Hydra brute enforcer. Here he is next to the Arnim Zolabath. Here he is next to two of his biggest rivals, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. From one PIMP to another, here he is next to the G.I. Joe Classified Series Pimp Daddy D, Destro. Finally, here he is next to the Masters of Evil. As you can see, I'm a big fan of the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes animated series, so I did include some of that roster in here, mixed with some classic members. I like to mix and match rosters when they are a big stable as this kind of team. If you haven't watched that show, I highly recommend you watch it, and you'll love Zemo. Best Avengers cartoon ever. And also here are some other Masters of Evil members that I wanted to show you. Love to keep seeing the expansion of the villains roster. And now to wrap things up, my final rating is an 8.5 out of 10. Sure, he's light on accessories, but that doesn't stop it from being a great figure because what he comes with still works for him. Giving him his sword and some extra hands, which can be used for wielding a sword with both hands. But a little more could have definitely put this figure over close to a 10. A new leopard print gun with a port to plug in effects would have been nice, as well as an alternate head with a different expression. Better yet, a disfigured looking head would have done it for me. However, the figure itself looks so damn good. From the big pimpin' leopard fur bits and some other newly sculpted parts makes this figure feel fresh. Only thing I was bummed out about was not adding pinstripes to his boots. But his coloring is eye-catching as that purple and yellow will vibe nicely on the shelf. He surprisingly articulates so well. I had a lot of fun photographing him and getting him into some nice dynamic poses or even vanilla posing, which complements the character itself. Bottom line, I love the Zemo character and I love this Zemo figure. A much needed look to go with our classic villains. If you missed out on the Mandroid Wave one, I hope you got this one already. If not, I hope you'll get one soon. To me, this is the best looking Legend Zemo in the line. Now I kick it back to you. What do you think of this new Baron Zemo figure? Were you able to grab one off Walgreens site? What other classic Masters of Evil or Thunderbolts members would you like to see made next in the line? Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. That was my review. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. Link is in the description below. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. Enjoy the pics at the end of the video. See you on the next review. Peace, peace.